There is a voice inside every woman, a voice that holds her truth, her strength, her dreams. But in a world heavy with hardship, that voice can feel distant, sometimes silenced. Trauma can quiet it, poverty can diminish it, and culture can confine it. But at Her Voice Africa, we believe that every voice deserves the chance to be heard. That every woman and girl has the right to say, I matter, to break the silence, and to create change, not only for herself, but for those who will walk after her. And today, as we bring you the very first episode of Her Voice Talk Show, we begin with a story that truly reflects that vision, a story that will move your heart and stir your spirit. It's the story of a caregiver who has been a steady guiding force for countless mothers, supporting them through the life-changing experience of bringing new life into the world. And while she has offered comfort in moments of both joy and challenge, her own journey has been one marked by profound struggles. And yet, she joins us today, a testament to resilience, grace, and unwavering faith. Her story reminds us that having a voice is more than words. It's the power to rise, to transform, and to inspire others to do the same. This is Her Voice. Hello, Joan.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Her Voice. We're very glad to have you on our very first episode. Before we really get into the story, we just want to know just a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to our viewers and let us know what has really shaped your journey to this moment.
Thank you so much. My name is Joan. Joan Namakula. Muchibi is my daddy's name. I use it. And Chuanka is my husband's name. So I'm Namakula, Muchibi, Chuanka, Joan. And initially, I was a midwife. And I'm a midwife.
Yes.
But I chose a path of fertility. So I'm working in a fertility center at the moment, where I've been working for the last coming to 20 years. Coming to 20 years.
I was just wondering what really inspired you to be a midwife?
I had an aunt who was a nurse somewhere in Lugazi, long time ago. I think when I was young. They used to take me there for holidays. But I didn't think about it, like being in medicine or medical. Until one time, there was a lady, when my mom was born in Kamocha here. And one time as she left her marriage, she came with us, like any other mother. So when we came with her to Kamocha, that's where we started. I was beginning my senior one, I think, in Chitante. Then when I reached senior 4, we used to gather up as youth down in that Kamocha Catholic Church. So there was a lady called Dagan, Sister Dagan. When I was in senior 4 vacation, before the senior 5, I think, I used to go with her, carry her bags. She asked me to interpret. By that time, HIV was too much. So she used to she came and asked my mother if I can help her with interpreting Luganda English to the patients. She was a doctor. So I used to carry her bags, then go all over Kamocha looking for people with HIV, AIDS. We used to give them medicines, we used to give them counseling. It prompted me to have that empathy about people. Then I started developing loving to work with people, but I didn't have that idea of medicine because my mom couldn't afford to, take me to university and all that, because even senior four she was already telling me, but money is scarce. But I started up that journey with Sister Dagan, the doctor. We used to move, going to check on the patients, HIV patients. Then as we moved with her like for several years. Then I started developing caring about people. Then I started developing. Then one time she told me, but you can be a good nurse. I said, how can I start being a good nurse when even my mom doesn't have money to take me to nursing school? So when I completed my senior 4, going to senior 5, we had started senior 5. My mom said there's no money because my siblings had to go back to school too. I mean, to go at least some level. Yes, and I'm the firstborn. So I stopped in senior 5. I stopped going to school because my mom didn't have money. So when I stopped in senior 5 in Chitante still, we continued moving with Sister Dagan, going to supply medicine, going to talk to people, those who had HIV. Then one time she told me, will you give me a push tomorrow to Nsambia Hospital? I said, okay. We went to Nsambia Hospital. We worked on the HIV patients as usual because we used to go. When we don't go around Kamocha, we go to Nsambia Hospital. So as we are going to Nsambia, she told me, it's very good. You're a good person. It would be good if you took care of people in future. I said, my mom doesn't have money. I can't. She was a white woman from Irish, I think. So we continued with our care giving. So one time she comes up with these papers from Zambia Hospital Training School. She had paid for me the whole course, which was 2 years
for nursing.
Now, by that time, nursing, you join nursing, but you don't know if you're going to be a midwife or a nurse. By that time, you join as a nurse.
And
during our
during
our PTS program. No, when you finish the first year, they see your strength. This person is going to be a midwife. She's good. So I became so loving to the babies. Babies. And so when we went to second year, they had to divide us to our strength. Now, because I loved babies so much, they ask you what you want to be when we finish the first year. That was then. I don't know what they do now, but that was then. So they ask you, they see your strength, the trainer, the teachers, and then they ask you what you love most. Now, me in nursing, what I feared in nursing side was to work on men. I'm sorry, men. But there is this thing of putting catheters in men. That took me off. And then in medicine also, people die a lot. Yet in midwifery, you receive new life every day. Every day you receive new life. You're happy with those who are giving birth. The mothers are happy, the husbands are bringing in gifts. So I was happy with those who were happy. I didn't want this side of the nursing side, the pain every time someone is very sick, someone is very... So I loved the midwifery part. That's how I became a midwife.
Interesting.
Yes, because I loved the babies, and it was all because of Sister Dagan. And up to now, by the way, I'm trying to look for her. I can't find her. I can't find her. I've checked the internet, I don't know. I just pray that she's alive wherever she is.
But I'm sure wherever she is, she knows that you're very grateful.
Yes, but that is the time I saw my mom very happy.
And
very, very, very
still
happy.
Living?
No, she passed away in 2002. 2002. 2002. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This story, this journey of yours, when you mention babies and mention midwifery, how did you go into fertility?
Into fertility
itself, because that's a whole journey.
Now,
I want to believe.
yeah, now, and it's a very interesting journey and so sweet. Now, midwifery after school in 96, after doing midwifery in 96, I completed in 96 and started working. By that time, they used to post us. Okay. Like, you don't go look for a job. No. They used to, when you finish school, they say, which region are you coming from? Kanungu, they take you to Kanungu. Oh, wow. Masaka, they refer you to Masaka. So by that time, I was in town here. They referred me to Rubaga Hospital. Oh, okay. That's where I started my now serious practice. So I worked in Rubaga for like up to 2008. Okay. From there, still, my loving children was in me, children and mothers being happy. Yes. Because I loved seeing people happy. Up to now, I love seeing people happy. So I worked in Rubaga Hospital, and then in 2000, they advertised people to work in Yame for medical personnel in the army. So I applied. In where again? Army, UPDF. Oh, Army. Yeah. Okay. So I went, worked there also, and I also worked there also 5 years. Oh, okay. Then from there I went to South Africa, studied some courses. Okay. That was 2009. And when I came back, one time I was at the bank, Centenary Bank, down in Entebbe Road. Okay. I found some doctor. He's called Dr. Kenya. Okay. He's now an honorable somewhere. Okay. So he told me, Joan, are you still working in Rubaga? I said, no, I left Rubaga and now I'm working with IHK. By that time I was working with IHK. And he told me, we are opening up a fertility center, but it would be good to work with us. I said, okay, I'll come and check it out. Okay. That was in Manda Road. Okay. So we went there. I met him and they introduced me to, but fertility, I had read about it in school, and you leave it there. You study it and leave it there. Now, when I reached that place, it opened up my eyes to so many things. But I think it was God who directed me to that place. So I started working there as a part-timer. I used to go and work in the evening. When I leave IHK, I go and work at that fertility center in Manda Road. So I worked, that's where I met my boss now. Oh, okay. So from there, from that place in Mawanda, I got so interested in IVF, in fertility, because I used to see women suffering with fertility and having a lot of troubles as family, to make up families. And I came to love the particular place, like to work as a fertility nurse. So being a midwife also was so good that it introduced me. It wasn't a difficult thing for me to join. Join. So I did some little courses about fertility and to know more, because there were so many things to do. Because knowledge is power. Yes. because in fertility they do IVF, they do IUI, they do so many things for people to enable people have children.
Yes.
So I got interested, and here I am.
Here you are.
Working.
Amazing.
Yes.
When you speak of fertility and speak of taking care of mothers in such a in that season of their lives, at what point do you, as Joan, realize that your journey to motherhood was going to be different from what it looked for other people?
Okay. Now, working in a fertility center, you know, you're a woman,
Yeah.
you're of age, you feel you want to have children.
Yes.
Okay, to take you back, my life was all about my siblings, since our parents, both of them, had passed away. So I focused so much on working, making money.
Yes.
I wasn't this girl who had like boyfriend or something. So I didn't realize that I had fertility issues. Okay? Because my focus wasn't so much on having children by then, by that time. So when my siblings grew up and had started, some of them had started working, they started making themselves independent from me.
Yes.
So that's when I realized that, no, I think I have to have a family of my own.
Yes.
And by the way, at that time, the time I'm thinking that I should have a family of my own, do you know how old I was? I was 40.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was 40 for me to decide or to come up or to wake up and say, now I should have a family of my own. That was when I was 40.
And that's when you felt that, you know what,
now let me get married.
Siblings,
yes,
and, you know.
I got married. I got someone got me, but we got each other. We got each other, and then we got married in 2013.
Okay.
Then when we got married, like any other couple, we hoped for children. We tried like 1, 2, 3 years, but then the children were not coming. Now, before that, when I was working in Ruvaga, I got some cysts. So by that time, we didn't have this technology of aspirating the cysts. That time they would cut you open and remove the cysts. So they used to cut me. They did like two operations to remove the cysts, fibroids, those things. That was way back when I was still a young girl in Ruvaga Hospital, because by that time, before even getting married, so I had scars. Now, I got married when I was 40. Started trying to have children, but it failed. Because by that time, now I was working in a fertility center and with good doctors. We tried it out to help me have children, but it all failed. Now, one time when the current boss, can I say the name?
Yeah, please.
The current boss, my boss is Dr. Mark Muyingo.
Okay.
So one time as we were discussing about children and all that, he told me, Joan, why don't you have children? What is it? What are you waiting for?
Yes.
I told him I've been trying, but it has failed. It's not working out. Yes. So he said, okay, we try IVF. He tried first time, second time. Whenever he would try to work on me, I don't get pregnant. Remember, in the clinic I'm working in now, I'm the head nurse. But I used to do tests for the ladies like you'd be in a group, and we used to do IVF group sessions. And women would get pregnant. Now you don't get pregnant. You are working on them, but you're not doing what? Getting pregnant. And you're doing everything you can. So one time again, Dr. Mark calls me and tells me, you know what, Joan, I think we should do a 3D scan. Now, doing a 3D scan, which I'd never thought about, the other scars, the ones, the operations before. Before, had got onto my womb like a belt.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So my womb was, we call it adhesion.
Okay.
In the medical term, it's called adenomyosis. I would wake up so early in the morning to come to the clinic if it was my day for testing, because I did several. If I can count the ones I remember, it was like seven IVFs. But I wasn't getting pregnant. So I would do the tests. Then when I see all the people are having, you feel that heaviness in your heart. I would go to the toilet and cry. And whenever you maybe get periods, you're thinking you're going to have, maybe you're carrying a baby, and then you see period, that breaks a woman's heart. So I used to make sure I come out of the toilet, the washroom, when I'm dry, clean, my face is not having tears, because I'm going to give results to somebody who has gotten a positive result.
And
you must share the joy. Yes. So those things used to make me like, on one side I become happy for those who are happy. On the other side I would become sad for those who are, because for them, the mothers would see me as their strength, yes.
For those who haven't, received.
Yes, and you are the nurse there. You are the nurse in the clinic. They don't know that you've done the test. They don't know that you're also doing the program with them. They don't know. But they want you to be there for them.
Yes.
Okay? So I would be in that way. Happy.
I know. Did it in a way impact on the way you relate to the patients? Did it impact on your work? On some days you're like, what, I'm not showing up. Or while you were waiting on your miracle, you still were there every single day.
Yeah. By the way, I never, at one point in my life, I've never thought of saying, I'm going to be sad because I didn't get pregnant and the others got pregnant.
Yes.
No. One thing I knew, that I was having a calling. I was called to work in a fertility center, and I have to see everybody happy. I'm telling you, I used to come out of the washroom and hug people and be happy with them. Not pretending.
Genuinely happy for
Yes,
them.
genuinely happy for them. Because one thing I remember when I was growing up, my mother used to say, be happy with those who are happy, and be sad with those who are sad. And that thing grew up in my life. And it has helped me a lot. And up to now, I'm happy with those who are happy, and I encourage those who are sad. So I'd done a little bit of counseling courses. So it also helped me to know how to handle mothers.
Like that,
And there is no one bit of time that I said, because I'm negative, I'm not going to work anymore. No. I have this saying that even if you have sorrows, or you're feeling bad, or you're sad about some things, when you're coming to hospital to work, leave those things at the gate.
Because people are counting on you.
Exactly. So my life is like that up to now. I love seeing people happy. I love seeing people happy. And the most important person who really encouraged me and has been pushing me all along in this journey of mine is Dr. Mark. He's a boss, he's a friend, he's a father. He's a good person because he has taught me a lot about life. And working with mothers who look for babies, or couples, or families wanting children, has humbled me down that anything can be possible in life. Anything can be possible. So me, I look at my job, I don't look at it like a job. I look at it like like a way of making someone happy. And by making someone happy, I become happy.
That's amazing. Challenges when you're dealing with fertility. For many women that we come to share with, you mentioned that when you met your husband, you decided to have a family, and you had mentioned earlier that he was very supportive, and that is amazing. But was it all the way through that he was supportive every step of the way for all the journey, for all the IVF cycles you were doing, or was there a day or a moment when you had also to be there for him, as as you're dealing with yourself, but you have to kind of also sort of encourage him, but also how did you deal with the extended family? Because I imagine those things coming, of we need grandchildren, we need what is happening, our son, what's going on,
Yeah.
How did you deal with
Now
that part of the family?
the thing is that we were both brought up by single mothers, so we don't have so much like extended families. We deal with siblings and our mothers. So me, I don't have a mother, and my siblings are younger than me.
Yes.
Okay,
So
they are not questioning me anything. His siblings and the relatives and what, maybe they used to ask him that when I'm not around, but I've never had any of his relatives come to me and ask me, Joan, why are you delaying to have children or anything? Because I didn't give them that audience.
Oh, wow.
Okay? One thing in fertility anyone should know is when you keep talking about your issues to people who are not concerned, that's when you get questions. And that's when you get attacks.
Yes.
Okay? But I mean, me, I'm a person who doesn't, I don't know, I'm sure, but I have limits.
You put boundaries.
I put boundaries because if I've not talked about something, why do you have to ask me about it?
Yeah. It's so it's a blessing to have a spouse who kind of supports you. Many women that you hear about leave their marriages because of challenges like fertility. It's actually, I think, the biggest thing that breaks marriages. So for you to know that you had the support system, I think that's really, really amazing. But you're a woman of faith. I was just wondering, is there a moment in your whole journey where you questioned your faith?
Oh,
because
yes.
many times we're thinking, God, why me?
Yes.
My sister or the other one just got married just the other day.
Yes.
But were there moments when you're like, what? Why do I know God or something like that? Yes.
Yes, there's a time when I even refused to go back to church.
Oh, wow.
There's a time when I sat down and cried and said, God, are you there? I've done good things for people. I helped women have babies By then, when I was a midwife, I never did anything bad to anybody.
Why?
I told him I've brought up my siblings and they're happy. Some are married. My young siblings have had children before me. So I always questioned God. But at one point, I said, my husband has a saying that when God has his own timing, you can't pull him. Like, you can't tell God to do your thing at your own particular time. God will do something. God has his own way. He does things to uplift his name. Now, when he gives you, my husband used to say that if God gave us children right from our wedding day, right from the wedding, people wouldn't know God is grace. God is, like, they wouldn't know how great God is. So God sometimes leaves things to happen because he wants HTWA. Yes. So there's that time for every woman.
Pick yourself out of that to be able to say.
By the way, I never went to a counselor, but my husband and Dr. Mark have been my counselors in this journey. They have been encouraging me. They have been, more especially when that time is at a peak, like you're becoming, I remember I was like towards 50 when I was going to make 50 years. I said, now I'm done. I'm done and I don't have children. Now I'm wasting this guy's time. Okay? He can find somebody else. I reached a time when I told him maybe if he can find somebody else,
I will support you.
Oh, exactly. Maybe you can find somebody else, have children, and if you don't want to get married to those people, you can bring the children. I'll take care of them.
Oh, wow.
That's the climax. Yes, I had reached. But still, like you said, I had to quarrel with God sometimes. Yes, but with time, actually, what always encouraged me is the women I work on, the mothers that come to our clinic. You can see a woman, because she has passed through, she tells you things that you yourself have never even thought about. And then you find yourself saying, I've been thinking I'll have trouble, but there is someone who has more trouble than me. And I thank God that I'm working in a fertility center, because I see different cases every day. And those different cases sometimes are even worse than mine. But they are worse than mine, that I put myself into these women's shoes and I can't put their shoes on. They are way, way bigger than mine. So that always encouraged me to pick myself up.
When you realize that you are not conceiving naturally and being in a fertility center with men, you decided to go IVF. Is it something that came so easy for you?
You remember I told you that I worked in Manda Road, a clinic called Life Sure one time. It is a fertility center. So I had discussed over with my husband. By that time I was like in 40s. And I tried to talk to him about it, but because he's not in a medical field, so he didn't know too much about it. So he told me, how does that work? Then I explained to him the why I know it. Then he said, okay, if it will work for us and you're happy about it, it's okay. You go ahead. And so I tried. Like I said, I did IVF, like 7 of them that I remember. But they were not yielding, all of them. So
when getting one to another, without losing faith
in
the process.
No, because I wanted to have children.
It was there.
My husband was supportive, like I said. He always told me, okay, you can try. We can try it. We can try. But all of it, there was no baby seen. So Dr. Mark had opted that we use a surrogate. It took me like a year to put that in my head. That I'm not going to carry my babies. You know, when you're a girl, you have those fantasies of carrying your babies. You're pregnant. You put on these nice dresses. But my dream has been cut down. So I had to say yes to a surrogate. I had to talk to my husband about it, getting a surrogate. And my husband, like I told you, he's not a medical personnel. So he told me, so what is surrogate? I had to explain to him. Surrogate is when you get your embryos, put them in somebody else to carry for you.
So a lady who is able to carry.
Yes, to carry for you. And then he told me, does that happen?
Explain that to our viewers. How does that happen? I mean, because I'm thinking there are those who might be like, no,
yes, they get the eggs from the donor or from you, and then they fertilize them. They fertilize the eggs with your husband's semen, and then they get embryos out of what they did. So those embryos are named in your names as Joan's embryos. So when you come, you're treated to make the womb grow.
So they get this
and keep them.
Yes.
They keep them. When they keep them, then we look for a surrogate, a mother. Surrogate is a mother who is going to carry for you your babies.
It's happening here?
Yes, that's what my husband was asking. Does that happen in Uganda? I told him at my workplace, we do that every day.
Wow.
He was stunned and like he said, really? And then that baby comes out like it's your baby? Looks like you? I told him yes.
Some of these things are quite foreign. So our Ugandan audience or our people may not really.
Yes, but it's happening in Uganda. It happens. And many families are happy, including my family.
Wow.
Because of those good ladies who carry children for us.
Amen.
Okay?
Amazing.
So I went to Dr. Mark again and I told him it's okay. My husband has said it's okay. He's okay with it. That's when we started the journey of being a mother and being a father. So the lady we put on first round, the woman became pregnant for us. She carried for us, 2 girls.
Take me to that moment when you first learned that now I'm expecting I'm going to be a mom.
Yes. Now, when we
really, it was mixed feelings.
It was mixed feelings, of course, but I wasn't so mixed up because I've been seeing these women have children from surrogacy programs.
So you really made your mind about it?
Yes.
Yes,
because I didn't want to be a selfish person. Because I would be selfish if I had refused to have a surrogate mother to carry for me. For my husband's sake, I wanted my husband to have children. So I wouldn't be selfish to that extent. So I had to accept that with all my heart and with all my joy, I accepted that someone can carry for us. If they can carry for other women, who am I? Am I so different from those women? I said no. So we got a surrogate, started her on treatment, but they don't know that it's me. She doesn't know that it's me she's going to carry for. But here in Uganda, it's very difficult. You can't let someone know that she's carrying for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, because one, you avoid extortion. You avoid someone misusing the...
So sorry to bring in it. So who takes care of it? Because I mean, reading about it, of course, I understand that now you the mother of this baby,
the recipient.
the recipient, you are meant to take care of them financially.
Yes,
take
that
them to
one.
hospital
That one
and all
is.
of that. So how
That
are you
one
able to do
is
that?
you let the hospital take care of it.
You arrange with the hospital.
You pay the hospital,
Oh.
or you pay the hospital. Let the hospital trust the hospital to do that for you.
Oh wow.
Okay, if you're paying for a surrogate, pay the hospital. Let the hospital look for the surrogate. Take the surrogate through the program, antenatally, delivery. Now I had my babies, 2 girls, from the hospital. They handed them over to us. But one of the girls, the lungs, because the waters of the surrogate broke earlier, like at 31 weeks. So the lungs were not all that good. So my other baby passed away. But I thanked God for it.
Wow. They have handed you the children, and that joy is cut short.
Yes. But it wasn't really, I don't want to call it that it was cut short, my joy.
Okay.
But it was paused.
Oh, wow.
For a few days or something. But me, I am a person who thanks God for everything. Science has opened the space for us, and we are no longer those people who step back and cry. And cry. Yes, it is an expensive procedure, very expensive. That brings me to my next question, because
you mentioned having 7 IVFs. The cost of IVF in this country, how are you able to carry out all those, or how do ladies really come to have these services? Yet I believe they're quite expensive.
It's an expensive procedure. They're expensive procedures.
Yeah.
But then I can't tell you that well, this is how someone gets her money to come for the clinic or this. But women tell you stories. Some even sell off the houses they are living in to have children. Some sell their lands. Some sell the cash it travels to work, and they come and do IVFs. I can say that I'm a lucky woman.
Yes.
Because my bosses have been there for me with the finances and support. I can't thank them enough. I can't. Sometimes I think like I wish I had a lot of money. I would pay for others, but you find that you can't help everybody.
I'm very sure that
if
the
if
love
it,
and the dedication you're giving the mothers,
if it was all about me, I would, and I had a lot of money, I would make sure that every woman in this world gets babies, get that feeling of being a mother.
Yeah.
Because it is an interesting thing.
Have you encountered scenarios where, for example, a surrogate does not conceive as well?
Yes.
Or they miscarry?
Yes. Yes. They are all like us. They are like other women.
Of course,
yes.
Of course.
You put in the embryos, they don't attach. But you've done all the procedures nicely. All the procedures. Then another one, you put the embryo, you transfer the embryos, they grow like 3-4 months, and then she bleeds. You have to talk to her. You have to talk to the mothers waiting for their babies. Remember, you told them that your cell get conceived, and here you have to tell. They are all happy. They are and then you tell them that the cell get miscarried. It is heartbreaking, but all those things happen. You know, where there's a good thing, there's always a bad thing. Yes, we can't separate good from bad. I mean bad from good. It's always there. When you love what you're doing, love people next to you, when you love what you're doing, when you love the people you're working on, and you don't have this anger, because For me not to have children, I would have been angry and portrayed anger on me, and then transferred it to the patients. That would be so bad. But because I say love drives everything. It heals, it drives everything to the destiny where it has to be.
If you could share a message to encourage mothers, to encourage women, to encourage our viewers, because this fertility journey does not affect only ladies, it affects couples. So what would be that message you'd give, to our viewers, to encourage them to know that this is not, their journey, their issues and the challenges that they face is not the end, but there's hope. What would be that?
Okay, we've grown up in our African culture. It has this setting. It makes people think that if a couple or a family has not had children, it's the woman's fault. I want to encourage every woman that it's never your fault. Even if they say you have fibroids, you have issues, you have what, it's not your fault that you're not having children in that home. No, it takes two to have a child, the man and the woman. So it's sometimes very difficult to see a woman coming in with a husband. I don't know where the husbands stay. In most cases, the women come alone. I want to take this opportunity to encourage the men. I want to take this opportunity to encourage our husbands. Please, husbands, having children is not a one person's thing. It's for two of us, the woman and the man. So if you're having this challenge of having children, please, both of you go to hospital. Go to hospital, talk to the doctors, the professionals know what to do. I know it is heartbreaking not to have a child for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And then some men also resort to drinking. By the way, alcohol kills sperms, if you didn't know. Alcohol, smoking, it kills sperms. So if you're frustrated because your wife is not getting pregnant, it could be you. So please come to the clinic, come to the hospital. Don't send a woman. Sometimes men come and say, this one has a problem. She's not having she's not having children. It's no.
Sometimes that it's the men.
It's most times we find that it's the men. And when you tell them, there is a scenario I had. A man came with a wife and said, this one has taken like 5 years in marriage and she's not having any child. Then I told her, have you ever tested yourself? No. Me, I have even a 2-year-old child. Somewhere. Okay. Then later on, I told him, okay, that is very good for you. But then we have to do a semen analysis on you. And you know, when we did the semen analysis, he didn't have even a drop of sperm. Now, you wonder, the other 2-year-old child is for who? You understand? Because someone lied to you that this is your pregnancy and this is your... Yes. Yeah. Now, that scenario only showed me that there are people who have children and the children are not theirs. Okay? So I encourage mothers, don't despair, don't lose hope, don't leave your marriage because of that you're not getting children. There is help. There is help. Come to the clinic. Go to there are very many centers. Actually, there are many centers of fertility in Uganda. But me, I work with Neogenesis Fertility Center, and I've been blessed there. Many women have been blessed. I work with Dr. Mark. Dr. Davis, Dr. Msinje, and a very big team of good people there. They work very well, and we see that every family, our goal is to see that every family is happy, is having children. And my prayer always is that, by the way, at my clinic, at our clinic where I work, before the women go to the theater to receive their children or to transfer their children, I pray with them. That one, I made it a routine.
Yes.
A routine, because at one point it's not about science.
No.
It's about God. God is the one who gives children.
Yes.
Nafa so we go down on our knees. We say, God, these women who are coming to our clinic today, please let them get out happy. Let them have children. Let them receive. So I always encourage women, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. If God has given you life and you're still living and you're still breathing, you'll get a child. You'll get children.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Joan. That
You're welcome.
was beautiful. That was empowering, inspiring. We're really, really glad to have you. Thank you for joining us today. And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us for this, first episode of Her Voice. I pray that it has inspired you to share your own story and put a voice to your own experience. Thank you. Until next time, God bless you, and bye-bye.
Bye.